Hey everyone, you're watching the Esperanza 243. This is part 4 of the Westing game. Pretty exciting. I know I said I would do vlogs, but I just wanted to mention the reason why my background looks different is because I recently watched a podcast of the creatures, their 80th episode of their podcast, and I actually found out that it's not a good idea to mix your business with your home. So I'm doing my best not to include my couch or my bed in the background. So this is what it's gonna look like from now on. So I believe we are doing a reading of this, the Westing game. I believe in part 3 we learned about everyone else, kind of. Chris has a disability. Ellen doesn't really explain what it is, other than he has like immediate body reactions to whatever. Turtle's dad is a surgeon. Mrs. Crow has corn on her foot. And basically we just learn about everyone. Judge J.J. Ford, she had a tiring day and insulted Otis Amber, the overaged delivery boy. And pretty much everyone else we get to learn about them. I don't really know like how else to explain it, without having to go into great detail, So let's go ahead and get to the reading, where we started off with ending part 3. I started off the 4th chapter, which is called The Corpse Found, and this is where Turtle is in the Westing house exploring, trying to get at least 25 minutes into the bet that she made with two other friends at the Sunset Towers. Turtle had seen the corpse in the Westing house, but it was not rotting, and it was not sprawled on an oriental rug. The dead man was tucked in a 4-poster bed. A throbbing whisper, "Purple, purple." Or was it turtle? Turtle. Whatever it was scary. He had beckoned her to the master bedroom on the 2nd floor, and maybe it was a dream. No, it couldn't be. She ached all over from the tumble down the stairs. The moon was down, the window dark. Turtle lay in the narrow bed in her narrow room, waiting. Dark, still dark, waiting. At last, slow morning crept up the cliff and raised the Westing house, the house of whispers, the house of death. $2 times 12 minutes equals $24. Thud! The morning newspaper was flung against the front door. Turtle tiptoed through the sleeping apartment to retrieve it and climbed back into bed. The dead man staring at her from the front page. The face was younger, the short beard darker, but it was he all right. Sam Westing found dead. Found? No one else knew about the bedded down corpse except Doug, and he had not believed her. Then who found the body? The Whisperer? Samuel W. Westing, the mysterious industrialist who disappeared 13 years ago, was found dead in his Westing town mansion last night. He was 65 years old. The only child of immigrant parents, orphaned at the age of 12, self-educated, hard-working Samuel Westing saved his laborer's wages and bought a small paper mill. From these meager beginnings, he built the giant Westing Paper Products Corporation and founded the city of Westingtown to house his thousands of workers and their families. His estate is estimated to be worth over $200 million. Holy cow. Turtle read that again. $200 million. Wow. When asked the secret of his success, the industrialist always replied, clean living, hard work, and fair play. Westing set his own example. He neither drank nor smoked and never gambled. Yet he was a dedicated gamesman and a master at chess. Turtle had been in the game room. That's where she picked up the billiard cue she had carried up the stairs as a weapon. A great patriot, Samuel Westing was famous for his fun-filled 4th of July celebrations. Whether disguised as Ben Franklin or a lowly drummer boy, he always acted a role in the elaborately staged pageants which he wrote and directed. Perhaps best remembered was his surprise portrayal of Betsy Ross. Oh, this explains everything. Okay. Games and feasting followed the pageant, and at sunset Mr. Westing put on his Uncle Sam costume and set off fireworks from his front lawn. The spectacular pyrotechnic display could be viewed 30 miles away. Fireworks! So that's what was in those boxes stamped danger. Explosives stacked in the ground floor mansion. What a pyrotechnic display that would make if they all went off at the same time. Dang, this article is long. The Paper King's later years were marred by tragedy. His only daughter, Violet, drowned on the eve of her wedding, and 2 years later his troubled wife deserted their home. Although Mr. Westing obtained a divorce, he never remarried. 5 years later, he was sued by an inventor over rights to the disposal paper diaper. On his way to court, Samuel Westing and his friend, Dr. Sidney Sykes, were involved in a near-fatal automobile accident. Both men were hospitalized with several injuries. Sykes resumed his Westingtown medical practice and the post of country coroner, but Westing disappeared from sight. It was rumored, but never confirmed, that he controlled the vast Westing Paper Products Corporation from a private island in the South Seas. He is still listed as chairman of the board. We are as surprised as you are, and deeply saddened. A spokesman for Julian R. Eastman, president and chief executive officer of the corporation, stated when informed that Westing's body was found in his lakeside home. Dr. Sykes' response was, "A tragic end to a tragic life. Sam Westing was a truly great and important man." The funeral will be private. The executor of the Westing estate said the deceased requested that, in place of flowers, donations be sent to Blind Bowlers of America. Turtle turned the page of the newspaper. But that was all. That was all? There was no mention of how the body was found. There was no mention of the envelope propped on the bedside table on which a shaky hand had scrawled, "If I am found dead in bed." She had been edging her way against the four-poster, reading the words in the beam of the flashlight, when she felt the hand, the waxy, dead hand, that lay on the red, white, and blue quilt. Waxy? Through her scream, she had seen the white, bearded face. She remembered running, tripping over the billiard cue, falling down the stairs, denting Sandy's flask, and dropping everything else. There was no mention of 2 suspicious peanut butter and jelly sandwiches on the premises, or a flashlight, or a silver cross on a chain. There was no mention of prowlers, no mention of anyone having seen a witch, no mention of footprints on the lawn, track shoes and sneakers size 6. Oh well, she had nothing to fear, other than losing her mother's cross. Old Mr. Westing probably died of a heart attack, or pneumonia. It was drafty in there. Turtle hid the folded newspaper in her desk drawer, counted her black and blue marks on the mirror, 7, dressed and set out to find the 4 people who knew she had been in the Westing house last night. Doug Ho, Theo Theodorakis, Otis Amber, and Sandy. They owed her $24. At noon, the 62-year-old delivery boy began his rounds. He had 16 letters to deliver from E.G. Plum, attorney at law. Otis Amber knew what the letters said, because one was addressed to him. As a named beneficiary in the estate of Samuel W. Westing, your attendance is required in the South Library of the Westing House tomorrow at 4 p.m. for the reading of the will. I will stop there. Can you believe it? The reading of the will. It requires all the people in Sunset Towers? Interesting. Alright, so I will see you guys in part 5. This is the Esperanza 2 for 3, signing out.